Hey Planet Watchers, good to see you. And once again, apologies for postponing this meeting at short notice, but as you can guess, there are always some reasons for that. So there were some last minute opportunities to discuss with important partners as well as potential investors. So that is why. So let's move on now with some announcements. So the first thing I'd like to mention is a new partnership with a DeFi institution, the Humble platform. What happens on Humble of interest to you guys is that as a first step, you can add liquidity to the Planet's Algo swap pool on Humble. And the next thing you can do is to stake the liquidity tokens related to this pool on the Humble farm. And in this way, you can earn rewards in planets and in algos. These rewards have to be claimed for, so claimable rewards, 50% in planets and 50% in algos. I think this is a very good staking plan that could be of interest to many of you. So this went live on June the 29th at 8 p.m. CET, and I think it's worth having a look at it. All right, so next update, it's about the sensor waiting list. As we announced, as of July the 1st, license purchases will no longer put you on a waiting list. At the same time, of course, the existing waiting list is being processed via partner vendors. As I explained in the past, this is part of transitioning to a free market approach to hardware deployment. So we don't want to handle hardware because just we are not good at it. We want to onboard hardware. We want to test the hardware to decide whether or not a piece of hardware is hardware compliant. Once we do this, the actual hardware sale should be managed by third parties, because that's the best approach in terms of pricing and in terms of hardware availability worldwide. So waiting list, the existing waiting list stays and is being processed, but new license purchases no longer put you on a waiting list. So you don't need to buy the license before having access to the sensor. It's more, it's easier to manage from your point of view, I would say. Okay, next point. There is a new wearable app in the making, and we've been working on it for some time. What's happening right now is that we are finalizing the testing internally inside the technical team in order to make the app available next to a group of beta testers. So once we gather their feedback and solve any issues, we'll announce a timeline for the official public release of the new wearable app. So this is part of improving our tools and the user experience. Next point, license renewals. We are working to release a license renewal engine in July. So first of all, do not worry if your license is about to expire and if it expires before the release happens, because for the time being, we have disabled expiration checks. So until the license renewal engine is out, everybody who's getting rewards today will keep getting the rewards, no problem. After that, of course, we will resume checking license expiration dates when the tool to process renewals is up and running. An update about one of the sensors which were announced coming up soon. This is a Type 2 sensor manufactured by TIA, which is the manufacturer which is making the Arquinos. As a reminder, this is a sensor which is a Type 2, so it measures particulate. It has Wi-Fi connectivity and a solar panel. We are a bit late with the final internal testing. Once we're done with that, we'll deploy a testing group with 100 Planet Watchers to gather their feedback. This will happen sometime around the second half of July. And of course, these Planet Watchers will be chosen based on the Type 2 waiting list. Okay, so Type 2 waiting list is fully in place here. And depending on how this testing phase unfolds, we are aiming at releasing the new Type 2 device on the market in August. Again, this is later than it was announced, but both with software and with hardware, there are often last-minute issues as well as supply chain issues, which can delay the process. But this device is being tested and is coming soon. Okay, now one more update about software, and this is about the main PlanetWatch app, not the wearable one. We released a new update for the PlanetWatch mobile app on June the 28th that now includes an improved troubleshooting tool. So this tool automates some of the issues that before had to be solved manually, and so it makes your life easier. So you should use this tool within the app to check if your sensors are compliant with all PlanetWatch requirements to receive rewards, and if needed, fix any problems. So this tool makes the process easier. We will be making some checks about sensor compliance on July 14th and afterwards, to make sure that everybody's playing by the rules. So please use this tool as soon as you have a chance to. Now, this is short, but we are moving towards a new communication style, I would say. So we are, let me say, we are rethinking our communication strategy, including our content strategy, and the tools we use, which include YouTube, obviously. So the goal is to deliver to you interesting, useful, and timely information better than today. We are still crafting a full concept for how we will, what this space on YouTube will be different in the future. It will certainly involve more team members and will cover a wider range of topics. Now, for the time being and starting next week, we start changing things around a little bit. So for example, in particular, we will keep answering the questions submitted by the community, but we will answer in a written format via blog post in order to improve clarity and precision and to answer more questions. Rather than my blah blah, you will get spelled out written answers. So, and again, the goal is to answer more questions and be more precise on each and every one of them. So the first Q&A blog post will be published by next Friday, so by July the 8th. And we'll probably follow a bi-weekly schedule unless we feel we need a different schedule. Of course, in the meantime, whenever there is an important update, breaking news or other, this will be announced via our official social media channels, and in particular via Twitter. So urgent stuff, breaking news is Twitter. Q&As will be via blog posts, and YouTube will be a bit of a surprise. It will be a broader set of subjects and a broader set of people. Okay, so in accordance with what I just said, I'm not going to answer questions here as of today, because every time I do it, I realize that some of the words I use sometimes don't come across as fully clear and informative. So let's do it in writing, it's going to be better. Other than that, as a general update, as you know, market conditions are challenging, planetary conditions are challenging. Let's not forget that there is life beyond markets, and we need to keep life happening under best possible conditions, in particular environmental conditions, because whatever we do, whenever we mess up with each other, wars, for example, this heavily affects our ecosystem and the planet. So let's try to do our best not to mess it up, even at a personal level. We are navigating through a difficult market, and this is clear to everybody. However, we're making progress on the fundamentals once again. We are discussing with high-level partners who in turn have their own difficulties. Sometimes big partners say, we are interested, but given the market turmoil, we need to take a bit more time to assess this and assess that. So what you see in the crypto markets and in the startup ecosystem affects also the broader financial ecosystem. So everybody's very cautious these days, But again, we believe that if you stick with your fundamentals, with your business plan, and you achieve one milestone after the other, making mistakes in the process, obviously, we are on the right track to make the most of our project whenever conditions become more favorable. And we keep, in the meantime, again, checking boxes and hitting milestones. So once again, thank you for your attention. Let's look forward to the first Q&A blog post. And whenever there's something important and timely, of course, this will be first and foremost communicated via Twitter. Thank you, and keep watching the planet.